I appreciate you all gathering here today. I understand that this investigation has been somewhat hectic. I wish you luck on your deductions regardless. I have full faith in your perseverance.
Gee, thanks. It would be helpful if you could throw us a bone every once in a while, though. Don't you already know who did it? Just tell us!
I'm afraid that is outside of my capabilities.
You can teleport people, but you can't say a name?
I cannot. Please try to understand.
Let's not waste time. We have a lot to talk about.
Do we? I feel like Mion and I didn't find shit.
Should we really be starting without Tay, though?
We don't even know whether or not Tay's gonna be here at all. We need to start.
Actually, before we go any further, I have a question.
Yes?
By the system you've described, if Tay died right now, the case wouldn't count, right? Because we haven't solved Matthias's case yet?
Correct. As there is currently an outstanding case, a second death would be of no value.
Right, okay. So then, what if he dies tomorrow? If he was poisoned today, but he dies tomorrow, that would count again?
Indeed. That would cause another investigation and trial.
Right. Okay. Thank you for clarifying.
What the fuck happened with Tay?
Can we get to that after we talk about Matthias?
I'd really like to know a few more details as well, actually, Eurydice.
I have no idea. He was acting fairly off for the entire investigation, but I had attributed it to the fact that he was still recovering from blood loss. We practically dragged him out of bed, half asleep, to investigate.
True.
At first, he was just saying he was thirsty. But again, that's not unusual for someone in his circumstances. He was sort of zoning in and out the entire time as well. When we got to the archive, he still wasn't feeling well, but then he started rambling nonsense and collapsed.
That sounds really bad!
Maybe he just wasn't ready to get out of bed yet.
That's what I had thought, but when I took him to the medbay, Yokoi pointed something out to me. There were grains in his IV bag.
What?
I don't know what they were, but he had been hooked up to that IV bag for some time. I'm guessing it has something to do with that.
What the hell? So, someone tried to sabotage him?
That's what it looks like.
Why is this group so murder-happy? We already had a dead guy!
Yeah, speaking of, can we maybe focus on that first?
I think we should hold off on trying to figure the Tay thing out for now. Ninomiya's right. Matthias is the priority.
No shit.
Should we start with the body?
We can do that. Tay and I were the ones who investigated the body.
Describe away, Doc.
First off, just to establish this going forward, we found Matthias in the second sub-level corridor, correct? He wasn't moved at all after you guys found him?
No, he was right there in front of the offices, just a few meters down from the elevator. The entire floor was fully flooded, so he was pinned against the ceiling. He was floating.
When the water drained, that's when he came down to the floor.
Right. Okay, thank you. Now the body. Matthias was lying face up with purple duct tape over his mouth. He was wearing his pajamas, which might help us narrow down the timeline a bit. But honestly, I think we had all already assumed he died during night hours.
That's kind of the only way this makes any sense.
His only external injury was a gash on the back of his head. I'm assuming it must have bled fairly heavily considering how large it was, but since his body was soaking in the floodwater for a while, it's hard to say. There wasn't any blood at the scene, obviously.
Right.
When we took the duct tape off, the cause of death became a little more obvious. He had clearly vomited. Vomiting with your mouth covered in duct tape is generally inadvisable. It's not uncommon at all for someone to die by aspirating on their own vomit.
Aspirating?
Inhaling, Den. More than that, his vomit appeared to have blood in it, and his throat appeared fairly swollen. There were also notable burns around his nose.
The hell? Burns?
The last thing I noticed was his wrists. The skin on his wrists was almost completely hairless, unlike the rest of his arms. I think it's probably safe to assume that at some point, his wrists had been duct taped just like his mouth.
What is it with this fucking group and tying people up by the wrists?
Guess the first week motive kind of set the stage.
Am I the only one here with a handcuff partner who's still alive?
No, I was with Eurydice.
Is there anything else?
Not that I saw.
Then what's your assessment?
Well...
Osamu, should we talk about...
Not yet, not yet.
I think we can safely assume he was poisoned.
Poisoned? How do you figure?
Between the vomiting, the blood, and the swollen throat, it just makes sense. The burns on his face might also imply that they made him consume something that was somehow corrosive, but I'm just not really sure what that would even be.
But if you were gonna poison him, why tie him up? Why the wound on the back of his head? That doesn't make any sense.
I'm not really sure about that part, honestly.
I don't think he was poisoned. At all.
Then what do you think?
I think the blood can probably just be written off as him biting his tongue. If you were duct taped and you were getting murdered, you'd struggle, right? You'd fight with literally everything you had. It makes sense that if he was trying to get the duct tape off of his mouth, he might bite his tongue.
Honestly, yeah, that's possible, right?
It's definitely not something to write off.
We need a whiteboard down here. I want to keep track of our theories if we're gonna go down so many different paths.
What do you make of his throat, then?
Couldn't it have just been swollen from all the vomiting? Or like, from screaming or something?
It's possible, I suppose.
I have no idea what was up with those burns, though. Maybe he got tortured or something, like Yadabashi.
It does seem a bit odd that they tape up his wrists just to poison him.
The poison might have been slow acting. They could have taped him up so that he couldn't go seek treatment or tell everyone who had poisoned him.
That's also true.
Could he have been poisoned in the same way Tay was poisoned? Or like, not in the same way, but with the same stuff?
Now that's definitely possible. But only if we discount the burns. If the poison is something corrosive, it wouldn't have taken nearly that long to start affecting Tay through his IV line. That goes directly into his veins. He would have been over and done with pretty quickly.
Then maybe the burns came from something else entirely.
But what?
If we write off the burns as being part of the poison, I feel like Hirose's theory and my theory hold the same weight.
I also don't want to write off Shishikura's theory of Tay and Matthias being poisoned in the same way. If they were, that rules out the idea of the poison being something corrosive. It would also mean we've seen the poison, and that it's something granular.
Where the hell would they even get something like that?
There are actually a decent number of poisons in Dr. Khan's lab. Most of them are plant-based, but there are a good number of little bottles in the cabinet. Liquids and powders and stuff.
How completely nonsensical to have such things on hand when one is allegedly researching specifically the toxic properties of plants. One might even assume that such research was simply an excuse to poison people for recreational purposes.
But again, the entire floor was flooded, so they would have had to get the poison in advance.
Well, I mean, we know they got it in advance, though. Matthias's body must have been brought down there before the floor was entirely flooded. It wouldn't make any sense to do it after the fact. If he died before that floor was flooded, then they would have had to get the poison before then, too.
That's if the poison theory is even true, though. I think Maikawa's theory holds up just as well.
Well, yeah, but honestly, my theory doesn't go much further than he wasn't poisoned. I have no idea what actually happened.
Well, hold on. Does the poison have to be something granular? Could it be something solid that someone just ground up?
Definitely.
Then what about the pills in that room at the end of the hall? The one with the dentistry-looking chair in it. There's like hundreds of those bottles, but we don't even know what the pills actually do.
I'm not sure how much I believe in them being poisonous, though.
Actually, hold on. We brought a bottle. We thought it might be worth having you take a look at them.
Pass it over. Not seeing anything I haven't already seen, unfortunately. They're uncoated white pills. That's about all they've got going for them. No distinct shape, no distinct markings or labels. We wouldn't know what they did unless someone took them.
Which we're not doing.
At least not until we know they're definitely not poison.
Well, now what? Where do we go from here?
Right now, our two main theories are that Matthias was poisoned, or that Matthias wasn't poisoned, but still choked on his own vomit and died. I want to go into the second one a bit more. Maikawa, if you don't think he was poisoned, why do you think he was vomiting?
No clue, honestly. He had a head wound, right? Maybe something just whammed him in the back of the head and he got concussed. That can make you vomit, right?
It can.
But then, what was the goal? Just hit him on the head and hope he throws up? It doesn't really track.
They might have had other plans that they ended up aborting when Matthias vomited.
Okay, so those are our two big theories right now. How about we go through everyone's evidence and see what clues fit where?
That seems like a good idea.
All right, who's starting?
Let's have Doctor go first, since he was already talking about the body.
Right. Take it away, Doc.
Oh, me? I feel like I should probably wait until Tay gets here.
Dude, if he was that out of it, I doubt he'd have much to say anyway.
Fair point. Alright, well, with that in mind, Tay and I were assigned to the second sublevel where Matthias's body was. After we had finished looking over the actual body, we started investigating the office block. We didn't find too much except, for some reason, there was a bedsheet balled up in one of the offices. Dr. Abano's office specifically.
Weird.
It's something notable. I was trying to think of ways it might have been incorporated into the murder, but I'm at a bit of a loss. There wasn't anything on it, but that could also just be attributed to the fact that it was underwater for the entire day.
Ah, okay. Here's a theory then. What if the sheet was used to hide the body somewhere?
What do you mean?
If the body was wrapped up in a sheet, it would be a lot harder to notice, right? I mean, we were all using those stupid shake lights, and it'd be a lot harder to tell what you were looking at. If you see a body, you'll know it's a body. But if you see just a heap of sheets, you're probably not going to waste your shake light looking much deeper into it.
But why would they bother hiding the body in a sheet if they were just gonna put him downstairs anyway?
It might have just been inopportune timing. Maybe there were people in the hall, or it was a hectic moment or something. They killed him, wrapped him up in the sheet until the timing was right, then carried him downstairs.
It's not completely out of the question. I kind of have a different theory for the bedsheet, though.
Oh yeah?
What if they just used it to transport him?
What do you mean?
If they carried him down to the corridor, he would have been pretty unwieldy. He's tall, right? Plus, bodies are heavy. An easier way to move him would be to set him on the bedsheet and then just drag the bedsheet.
Wait, why would they need to move him at all? Didn't he die in the corridor?
I really don't think he died in the corridor.
But that's where we found him.
It is, but it would be a pretty random location to commit a murder. Besides, his wrists were bound at one point, remember? That means that at the very least, this wasn't a quick murder. A spur-of-the-moment murder doesn't see you tying someone up and untying them after. If they just hit him on the head in the corridor and killed him, there wouldn't be this much preamble.
Wait, so where did he die then?
I have an idea, actually. Hidase, is it okay if I butt in for a second?
By all means.
Okay, so like I said before, Shishikura and I checked out the weird room at the end of the hall. The dentist chair one with all the pills. I think that's where he was killed.
Elaborate.
There were a few different things we noticed in there. First of all, there was blood. Not a crazy ton of blood, but definitely some blood. There was a bit on the floor and a bit on a chair. More than that, we found this white tacky stuff on part of the chair. Like tape residue. You know, when you stick duct tape to something and then it's all gummy when you peel it off. It was exactly like that.
Yokoi, next time you have evidence that damning, cut in earlier.
Sorry, Osamu told me to wait.
I just didn't want to interrupt. Besides, sometimes it's better to hold on to info until someone contradicts it, so...
Yeah, shut up. Anything else?
The sink basin was wet, like someone had been using the sink. We didn't really see anything else other than that. We checked all the pills and canisters, but nothing was out of place.
We brought a canister with us, actually. In case you wanted to look at it, Hirose?
If it turns out to be relevant, I might take you up on that.
At first, we were kind of on the fence about whether the blood was Matthias's or Tay's. But if there was duct tape there too, it's gotta be Matthias's, right?
Definitely a lot more likely than it being Tay's. I think all of Tay's bleeding was confined to his bathroom.
Who does he share a bathroom with again?
Me.
Have fun with that.
I'll help clean it up.
Me too.
I definitely think it's safe to assume that he died in that room. If there's tape residue on the chair, it's also probably safe to assume that's where he died specifically.
It's a bit of an odd pick, though. Why there?
Nobody goes in there. They wouldn't have to worry about getting locked in on.
Well, actually, hold on. Can I throw a bit of a wrench in this?
Jeez. We've really got a lot of different theories going this time. Go on.
If there was tape on the chair, then yeah, it's probably safe to assume that Matthias was there. But we can't 100% rule out the idea that some of that blood could have been Tay's.
It's extremely unlikely. What are the odds of that? Besides, why would he have gone to that room while bleeding?
Wouldn't there have been blood in the hallway too if he had?
Well, maybe. But I think we can pretty much confirm that Tay was walking around and doing stuff before he...
We can?
Nino heard him messing around in Ikeda's room.
Oh, yeah. I nearly forgot about that. I was sleeping in Matthias's room last night, and I kept hearing a bunch of weird noises coming from Ikeda's room. Not really sure who else that could have been.
He was clearly doing something before he... I don't know. I'm just saying he was up and about.
Still, I think we can rule him out. Denden's right. There would have been blood in the hallway, too. We have no reason to suspect the blood in that room belongs to anyone but Matthias.
Especially since Ruka and I didn't find any blood in Ikeda's room at all.
Right.
Oh, right, yeah. That tracks. Sorry.
Don't be. It's good to consider every possibility.
Why the hell were you in Matthias's room last night, though?
Because he was sleeping in my bed. I needed somewhere to go.
Don't you two usually just share a bed?
Well, not last night.
Why not?
None of your business.
As much as I hate to pry, it kind of is our business at the moment. Why did you two separate last night?
Look, it's not relevant, okay? Can we move on?
If it's not relevant, then just tell us so we can move on.
We were fighting. It's not that big of a deal. I didn't want to bring it up because now we're gonna get totally sidetracked with everyone thinking I heard him.
You were fighting? In what way?
We were arguing about something private. We argued, and then he went to bed, and I went to go clear my head for a bit in the courtyard.
And he was alone in your room at this point?
Yeah, it was around, 10 or 11 or something, I guess. I stayed in the courtyard for a while because there was actual light there, and then I went back to his room for the night. I couldn't get much sleep because of whatever the hell was happening in Ike's room, and after I finally did fall asleep, the whole Tay thing happened, and that woke me up.
Okay, so that guy's super suspicious.
Excuse me?
You were the last person to see him before he died. You guys were fighting, and then you allegedly went off somewhere completely alone where nobody can verify your alibi in any way. Yeah, man! Rock solid!
Fuck off! Are you serious? Do you actually think I would hurt him?
That ain't really something I'm taking into account here. I feel like it's kind of reductive in terms of, reasoning. Just because something's unlikely doesn't mean it's impossible.
I didn't do anything! Last time I saw him was the last time I saw him.
As much as I hate to say it, it would have been easier for Ninomiya to do it than anyone else, right? Since Matthias trusted him?
Are you kidding me? Den!
I'm sorry!
Yohei, relax. We don't have any actual evidence on you. Everything is speculative. We're just trying to consider every possible option.
Oh, yeah, sure! Every possible option. I bet you're fucking loving this!
What? Sorry?
You fucking hated how I was with Matthias, you know? You're fucking relishing the idea that I might be a shitty person. You're loving the thought that I fucking killed him, and you could have a chance to be right! Pretentious brat!
Enough! I'm on your side!
Seriously, calm down.
I didn't do anything.
Here's the theory I'm gonna throw out. Scene Kid lured Horseboy out to the weird chair room. He hit him on the head to disorient him or knock him out or something, tied him up. Maybe he meant to kill him, maybe he didn't. Either way, Horseboy puked, choked, and died.
Right, but why?
No clue. Could be as simple as wanting to escape. Maybe he was afraid of Nerd Girl and wanted out of here ASAP.
I'm not afraid of Yokoi.
My point is, you have no alibi, and everything else points towards you.
But he was in a courtyard, though.
Yeah, completely alone. There's no actual evidence
He
to...
was. I know he was.
How? Nobody was even...
Because I was there.
What?
I was there. I was there first, actually. I just wanted to visit the Campidana. But then you showed up, and I guess you didn't see me because it was dark, and I didn't want to freak you out or scare you again, so I just...
So you stalked him in the dark for hours. That's not creepy at all.
It's not like that! I swear it's not like that!
Then, what is it like?
I didn't mean to. It just happened. It's nothing like that.
Well, at the very least, that gives you an alibi, Yohei.
Why would you?
I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry.
Unless that's total bogus, of course. Can you prove you were there, Yokoi?
He came in just past 11. He sat at the far table near the back wall, closest to the Kamidana. He lit the candles, and then he sat there with his head down on the table for a bit.
Does that check out?
Yeah.
Cool. Then we've got alibis for those two. That certainly narrows it down.
I guess these cases are bound to get easier when you've got significantly less people to suspect.
You'd think so, but I'm still pretty confused.
We kind of got sidetracked. You'd say you were telling us about the corridor, right?
Right, the corridor. We went into Dr. Ibano's office and found the sheet, but that's actually not all we found there. There was an ID badge.
You found somebody's ID?
Dr. Ibano's ID. See?
What? Someone seriously left their ID behind?
Pretty easy name and face to memorize for the cops.
Dr. Ibano Tyson?
Dr. Ibano Taizen, anesthesiologist. Kanagawa Futurist Technologies Institute.
Oh. So that's the real name of this dump. Kinda thought it was a fake.
So are we really in Kanagawa then? How did we end up in Kanagawa?
I live in Naha. How would I not remember getting on a plane?
Could have been a boat.
How would I not remember getting on a boat?
More importantly, on the back of his ID badge, we found a password for the terminals in the observation commons.
Really? You got in?
What did you find?
Cameras. Lots of them. Hundreds of them, easily, maybe even more. Every single room was crawling with them. The weird part is that they weren't for our building. They were for Session 1's.
The school?
Yes, the school. How did you know that?
Because we went in.
Sorry?
Those locked doors on the 4th sublevel were unlocked for the whole investigation. We went in, found some stairs, went through a bunch of weird interconnected hallways, and then we ended up in a musty, water-damaged school. It was dark and creepy and awful.
It was really, really scary.
Water damaged?
Yeah, I guess they count the school as part of the building, because it looks like they flooded the shit out of that place, too.
Wait, so... okay, just to be clear. You went down the stairs and then you were in the school, yes?
Yeah.
Right.
So, the school is definitely connected to the lab, but then... I mean, obviously it's not a real school. Does that mean this isn't a real lab?
How deep does it go? Is there another fake building on top of this fake building?
I don't think so. That would be unreasonably deep underground.
Honestly, I don't think we'd really know. The door we came out of to go into the school was clearly supposed to be secret or hidden or something. If there's a door here that leads to some more corridors and some more stairs, we wouldn't spot it anytime soon.
Especially if we had no idea there were hidden doors in the first place.
Well, now I'm rethinking every room in the lab.
We can't get distracted by that right now.
Oh, we can't? From what I can tell, we haven't been talking about Matthias for the past fucking 20 minutes now or some shit.
We're just going over what we found. Related or not, this could be incredibly relevant to our escape.
Can it? Are you assuming the school is a way out? Because, last time I checked, everyone in there died. None of this matters. Get back on track.
Right, That's all we found in regards to the observation commons. After that, we tried Khan's lab again, but there wasn't much there. We didn't notice anything missing or out of place, at least not when discounting the floodwaters. We checked the archive last.
Why?
I'll be upfront with you. We went through everyone's files.
What?
Rose?
Wait, all of them?
Everyone who's currently with us plus Matthias.
Dude, are you fucking serious? Why would you do that?
Maikawa? I'm not sure what we did was much better.
What?
Well,
What did you two do?
we kinda went digging through some VHS tapes we found.
Shit, the video storage room? I went digging around in there too, actually. With Matthias. A couple of days ago.
My bad. Truly my bad. The shit in there is just so fucking riveting.
It was more confusing than anything.
But, like, for full transparency's sake, yeah. We found a bunch of videos with everyone's names on them. We watched them. We saw some stuff we shouldn't have seen. That's on us.
Maikawa, what did you see?
Yohei's best piercings.
Dude,
But for real, nothing relevant to the case. We were kinda hoping we'd find more, but nah.
Our file search didn't turn up much either. I tried to put together a potential motive for each of us, but some of them fell a little flat. It was all just speculative anyway.
It might be helpful either way. What did you have in mind?
Should we go over them?
Sure, go for it. Dun and I can back you up with anything we might have gotten from the videos.
Alright, well, firstly, Yohei. He was pretty high up on our list of suspects, just because of his connection with Matthias. It would have been easy for him to lure Matthias somewhere and kill him.
Very easy.
But we've already exonerated him. He has a verified alibi. It can't be him. So we can write him off.
right.
Mion, we didn't really have much of a motive for Mion either. No specific connection to the motive, no specific connection to Matthias. Atsushi had briefly passed around the idea that Mion could have killed Matthias to eliminate competition so that they could get with Yohei. But that's absurd, quite frankly. So we pretty much dismissed the idea right away.
Good call. That's extremely stupid.
Seriously.
Yeah, don't really have anything to implicate Redhead from their video either. It was just them fumbling a job interview or something.
That's a pretty common occurrence.
Yokoi was another one we had fairly high up on our suspect list. She's tried to kill someone in the past, so we can't really write off the idea that she's willing to kill for escape's sake alone, because she's already proven it. Not to mention the fact that she was in direct conflict with Matthias. I can imagine a circumstance in which she felt she had to kill him to protect herself. More than that, I can imagine a circumstance where he attacked her and she defended herself.
Dude, seriously? Self-defense? You think she duct taped him to a chair in self-defense? I don't think it works like that.
The thing is, either way, we've already exonerated Yokoi. She has an alibi.
Hold on. Does she? Like, she was stalking Nino, yeah, but he went to bed at some point, right? It's not like she was stalking him there, too. After he went to bed, she could have gone off and done whatever.
Did she even follow him back to his room? Because if not, he's not exonerated either. As soon as he left the courtyard, they're both unaccounted for.
Are you kidding me? I thought I was already exonerated. I went back to Matthias's room.
Can you prove that?
He did.
Ruka, how long did you follow him around for?
Look, he went back to Matthias's room. Okay? I saw. He's got an alibi.
Whoa. You said you were watching him because you didn't want to freak him out. That story totally changes if you straight up followed him to his room!
Brooke, what the hell?
Wait, but how did you not get spotted? He didn't hear you following him? He didn't see you even once?
I just walked when he walked.
What? You literally fucking mimicked his footsteps to stay hidden, and you still don't see how this was super creepy?
He went back to Matthias's room, and he stayed there. I promise.
I don't even want to ask how you know he stayed there.
Because I stayed in Ikeda's bathroom for a bit to be sure.
You just waited at the door?
Just listening? What What the fuck is wrong with you?
Then, was that the sound he was hearing all night? You fucking around in Ikita's room?
I'm sorry.
What the hell?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You can't be serious. All night?
Then Yokoi is accounted for.
Let's just get back to reviewing motives for now.
Right, Maikawa. She probably had the strongest connection to the motive out of anybody here. The power outage was affecting her directly. Without power, she couldn't charge her arms or her leg. That would have been a pretty big issue.
Check out who's got new batteries! Ooh, wiggly fingers.
Which is good. I'm relieved to see you're doing well, but still, it definitely paints a target on your back.
It couldn't have been me. I've got a rock-solid alibi.
You do?
I was in my room with Snowball all night. I didn't want to go anywhere. My walking was such a fucking chore. I just hung out.
Right, I can back that up. I was with her all night. She didn't go anywhere. We didn't come out until all of the commotion in the early morning with Tay.
Yep.
Then I suppose you two are exonerated too. I guess I don't really need to cover Shishikura's motive then.
No, do it anyway. Be thorough. I'm curious.
What? Maikawa?
Well, I mean, in all honesty, I don't really have much to implicate him with. He has no direct ties to the motive or to Matthias. Obviously, we know he's willing to kill for the sake of escape, but I really don't think he did. I think it's safe to write him off, especially if he has a solid alibi.
Thank you, Hirose.
As for me, I don't really have much of a motive either. I have no ties to the motive and no ties to Matthias. More than that, I was with Tay for the entire early morning, evidenced by the fact that he survived. For that time frame, I'm accounted for. Before that, I don't really have a solid alibi. I was asleep in my room, which the rabbit can confirm, but I somehow doubt it'll be willing to cooperate.
I'm afraid I must refrain from commenting.
Right, exactly. So while I don't have an ironclad alibi, I also don't have any sort of motive. It wouldn't make sense for me to work so hard to keep Tay alive if I knew he was going to die in the trial anyway.
Yeah, that checks out, I think. I can't really see it being Hirose.
Denden's alibi is pretty much the same. She was guarding the door for me while I dealt with Tay. But after that, she was in the dining room with you guys, right? So she's accounted for.
I was asleep before that. In my room.
In terms of motive, there's really not much there. No connection to the motive, no connection to Matthias. It all bodes well that she volunteered to go look for the body, which would have been a death sentence if she was the killer. If she had found him on her own, and the announcement didn't play, that would pretty much confirm 100% that it was her.
I promise it wasn't me. I wouldn't.
You definitely wouldn't, but that isn't really evidence, unfortunately. With that said, though, I don't really see how Denden would have had any motive to kill Matthias at all, aside from just escape.
Well, yeah, but you gotta remember, escape's still a super real, super strong motive. Yokoi tried to kill Nino just to escape. Shishikura killed Kumada just to escape. Ono killed Akiba just to escape. Pretty sure escape is like the main motive.
Which is why I'm still taking it into account. I think the urge to escape is probably a pretty big issue right now. What with everything going on.
What do you mean?
I mean that out of everyone here, there are only 3 people left who have never tried to kill someone. It's normal to feel unsafe in a place like this. It's normal to feel unsafe around people like this. I think we all want to escape. That said, it's not like that's a motive specific to Denden. It's a motive for everyone. We need to take into account that—
Excuse me. I'm afraid I must interrupt your proceedings for just a moment. Tei Atsushi has woken up.
Atsushi!
He'll be joining us shortly. Please stand by.
Holy shit, he lived!
That's a big relief.
Do you think he might know something about who messed with his IV bag?
Are we completely ruling out the idea that he messed with his own IV bag?
We are. I had him under constant supervision. There's no way.
Well, I mean, world of good that did. He got poisoned anyway.
Yeah, not a great vetting process there, Doc.
Hold on, that's a good point.
Welcome to the trial grounds. Please take your place at your podium.
Right.
Atsushi, how are you feeling?
Tired.
Don't strain yourself. We've honestly already covered a lot of ground. Just rest and listen.
Right. Thank you.
In regards to what you said though, Maikawa, you're right. If someone had tampered with his IV bag, it would have had to have been one of the people I assigned to supervise him.
That narrows it way down!
It definitely does, but it doesn't exactly help us unless we know for a fact that whoever poisoned Tay and whoever killed Matthias are the same person. Either way, it's good information to establish.
So, who looked after Tay today then?
Myself, obviously, but the idea that I would poison him is completely asinine. Mion, you watched him for a bit, right?
Yeah.
I did too.
Same.
I think I watched him last.
And did you notice anything by that point?
No, but I didn't really think to look, honestly. I don't think I would have been able to spot the greens without knowing they were there.
Atsushi, I don't suppose you've got any recollection of someone tampering with your IV.
No, sorry.
That's fine. You were pretty disoriented at the time. Regardless, it has to be one of those four. Mion, Denden, Shishikura, or Yokoi. With that in mind, it should be a pretty simple process to narrow them down.
I swear it wasn't me!
You literally tried to kill someone, like, last week. In a way that was just as sneaky and avoidant.
It wasn't me either.
You tried to kill someone last week, too!
I watched Tay right after Miyochi did, and I didn't notice anything at all.
Well, yeah, but remember, you wouldn't have noticed it. I'm not saying I did it, but that's really not any sort of evidence.
How can we pin down the exact time he was poisoned?
Well, I don't think it was Mion, for starters.
Of course you don't.
Because the timeline doesn't add up. If Tay only started deteriorating during the investigation, it would have had to have been one of the later supervisors. Mion watched him first.
So, Shishikura or Yokoi?
There's no fucking way.
There better be no fucking way.
Did one of you two seriously fucking go for another kill? Are you serious?
No, of course not!
There's no way.
Especially not Tay. I wouldn't kill Tay. We're friends. I wouldn't.
You were friends with Yohei, too.
Hirose, seriously, it wasn't me. I swear it wasn't. I wouldn't. I promise. Not Tay.
Ruka was really upset about what happened to Tay. I don't think she would have tried to kill him.
Well, it's not like Snowball did it. There's no way he'd do that again. Besides, we already know he didn't kill Matthias, so what would be the point?
Actually, that's a good point, Maikawa. We know that neither of them killed Matthias. Okay, so, that means we have two separate attacks. Someone attacked Matthias and killed him. Someone attacked Atsushi and failed. The only people who could have attacked Matthias are Mion, Atsushi, Denden, and myself, theoretically. The only people who could have attacked Tay are Shishikura and Yokoi. Does that all make sense?
Yeah.
I'm following?
With that in mind, since Atsushi is clearly alive, that means whoever attacked him can openly admit it. And they won't have to face any consequences, since they didn't kill Matthias either way. So which one of you two it is, please admit it so I can treat him correctly. Are you kidding me right now? You won't even let me treat him? Are you serious? All right, I'm done. Done with both of you.
Hirose, I swear it wasn't me.
It wasn't me either. We must have something wrong. I swear it wasn't.
Okay, then let's extend our scope a bit. Even if we lean back a little further and add Denden as an option, does that make any sense?
Huh? Me? I didn't!
Alright, yeah, that defense is getting super old. No more I didn't or I wouldn't testimonies, please.
Right.
Unless it's you talking about Shishikura.
'Cause he did it! Plus he wouldn't!
God, we're getting so fucking disorganized here. If we already know that whoever poisoned Tay didn't attack Matthias, can we worry about Tay later? Can we prioritize?
Yeah, honestly, it's probably a good idea for us to just skip this one for now.
What? Skip this one? Are you serious? You realize that one of them just tried to kill someone again, right? Why am I the only person that seems to care about that?
Hirose, we all care, but Matthias is dead. The trial's about him. We kinda have to figure this one out if we want to live.
I'm okay, Hirose, really.
Can we get back to talking about motives then? Now that Tay's here, I mean. You said he was a suspect, right? Did you come up with a motive for him, too?
Okay, a motive for Atsushi? Not really, no. I took a bit of his incoherent rambling into account, but I really don't think it was him. If I had to twist things around to make him the murderer, then I'd say he probably killed Matthias before making an attempt on his own life. But I wouldn't be able to explain why.
Wait, you guys think I killed Matthias?
Not really, honestly.
It might help if you tell us a bit about what you were up to last night, Atsushi. We just need your alibi, that's all. What happened in the time before I found you?
Sorry.
Stop being weird.
I'll be honest, I don't think it really matters who killed Matthias. What? It doesn't. It really doesn't.
The fuck? How does it not matter?
Okay, so let's say we figure out who killed Matthias, and we execute them. Then next week, someone else dies, and we execute their murderer. Then what? We leave?
Yeah, but even aside from that, I want to know who fucking killed someone I care about.
But it doesn't matter, is my point. I mean, even if you know, would you feel better? Would that fix it? It wouldn't bring him back, right? Maybe you should just pick your favorite option and believe that they did it.
This guy's fucking crazy.
Even if we survive and they let us go home, there's nothing out there. We'd still be trapped. We just wouldn't be able to tell. It's really weird how you can't see that.
You really shouldn't be up right now.
Whoever killed him, it doesn't matter. If we all died right now, it wouldn't matter at all. Even if we get it right, they're not going to let us go anyway. They didn't let the last session go. They're not going to let us go either.
What? They totally let the last session go. Den and I explored the school. There was nobody left in there.
No, I know what he's talking about.
That's honestly a miracle.
It's not relevant to the trial, though.
That's because the trial's not relevant. This is like a stage play. Do you have any idea how little this all matters? Our lives don't mean anything. You're better off dead.
The fuck?
All of us are. We're all better off dead. That's the only way you get to leave the building. Besides, when you die, everything you want will be... Well, maybe not for you guys, actually, but I think I might be getting spared.
Okay, seriously, enough of this. Can we focus? I have no idea what he's talking about.
I think we can write most of it off as a bit of a mental health crisis.
You're writing it off because you can't hear what I'm hearing. You can't see what I'm seeing. You're not having the dreams. You don't know anything.
Right. Thank you for letting me know. For now, though, at the very least, can you let us continue the trial? Even if it doesn't matter, I think we would all feel a lot better if we could get it done.
Then yeah, go ahead. Don't let me interrupt.
Alright, well, here's a new motive pitch for Tay. He's fucking nuts!
Yeah, seriously, what the fuck is he talking about?
You only think that because you have no idea what's actually happening right now.
Let's redirect our attention for a bit. I definitely think it's worth considering that Atsushi might have... okay. Let's just figure out what we can and go from there. Atsushi, you don't have to care about the trial, but can you answer a few questions?
Sure.
Before I found you last night, what were you doing? Between talking to Den and talking to me in the bathroom, where did you go?
Let me think. I might have to go back a day or so to explain.
That's fine.
All right. For this entire week, I haven't really been doing much. I was sort of lying around in bed, feeling awful and thinking stupid, pointless thoughts that weren't really going anywhere. I didn't really plan to do anything else. But then, I don't really know what happened. I fell asleep. I know that part, but then I saw things.
You saw things?
Yeah. Everything, actually. I don't even know how to describe it. It's like trying to describe a color you've never seen before. It was incomprehensible. I can't even picture it right now, even though I saw it. There were eyes, thousands of eyes, maybe even millions of eyes and mouths and teeth.
Right.
It wasn't a dream, but it was real. I could feel it. It wasn't thousands of eyes, it wasn't millions of eyes, it was billions of eyes. It was infinite eyes, and I think that's where my eyes came from, actually. My eyes that won't let me see anything. My eyes that didn't let me see Ikeda. They're not human eyes. It wasn't human. Mion's eye isn't a human eye either.
What?
And the noise. There was so much noise. It was like, I don't know. It wasn't what you would expect from something with that many eyes and mouths and teeth. It was like music. Like bells and keys. It was so loud, and it was all happening at once, like every single note in the world being hit at the same time on a million different instruments, and it was deafening, and it was beautiful, and it was so painful. And when I woke up, it was all gone. Like I hadn't seen it at all. It was terrifying, but it was important. I know it was important, and I know that in all that noise, I heard him, and in all that darkness, in those eyes, in that inky sludge that filled up every single corner of its existence, I saw him. I know I saw him somewhere. I kept trying to go back to sleep, but it wasn't working. I couldn't get there anymore. It wasn't working, but I could still hear things. I couldn't hear the bells, and I couldn't hear the keys, but I could hear whispers. Words. There were words. I just couldn't make them out. I needed to get back to sleep, but I just... Then I realized that I could die. It's kind of funny, actually, because that's all I'd been thinking about all week. I'd wanted to die so badly all week, and it still took me hours to realize that I could just die. Nothing mattered. Nothing in here mattered, nothing out there mattered, none of it was real. It might as well have been the actual dream. Everything I had seen, that was real. This is nothing. None of this is real. It feels real, maybe. And that's why you're all so upset about Matthias dying, but it's okay, I promise. None of this is real. When I die, I'll go back, and when you die... Well, I'm not really sure. Because you haven't seen it, so I don't know if you're allowed to go there. I don't know if you could handle it. Honestly, it's intense. It's dark. It's really, really dark. That's why I thought the eyes were glowing at first. The eyes, the teeth, they were so stark white, I thought they were glowing. Now I don't know.
Wow.
Okay then.
Right.
It appears as though I may have made a mistake.
As soon as I realized I could just die, I knew what I was going to do. So I told him. I told him what I had seen. And I asked him if he could hear me. And he could. I know he could. I could feel it. Even if I couldn't hear him, he could hear me.
Right.
So I got a knife from the kitchen. And I went to the bathroom and I let myself bleed. As much as I could, I let myself bleed until I started seeing that same black sludge coming out of my arms. I saw it, and it was everywhere. And I knew I was going to be okay. I knew that I'd end up back there because it was infecting my entire body, so there wasn't anywhere else I could end up. It had to be there. It was like I was drowning in it. It was like ink, and it was everywhere.
Dude, are you seriously fucking...
Don't. Please just let me do the talking when it comes to Atsushi, okay? None of you are equipped for this, at all.
But neither are you. You're a surgeon.
Just let me handle it, please. Okay, to be clear, that's all you did, right? So you had nothing to do with what happened to Matthias?
No, it's really none of my business.
And when you went to go get the knife from the kitchen, you didn't see anything to do with Matthias? You didn't hear anything to do with Matthias?
Nothing.
Okay, thank you.
Are we not gonna unpack any of that?
It has nothing to do with the case. I'd like it if we could focus.
Was that all you wanted to tell us about the archive?
Well... Sorry, just reorienting myself here. There's one theory we haven't really covered all that much yet, but I don't think it has much merit.
Oh, yeah?
Technically, there's a possibility that Matthias either killed himself or was complicit in his own murder.
But who would be complicit in their own murder?
We'll tackle that side of things first, then. If we want to assume Matthias was complicit in his own murder, we have to question what he would gain from that. What's the reward for killing someone?
You get to escape.
Exactly. You get to escape. So whoever Matthias allowed to kill him, we can assume that he was willing to die for that person to escape. However, we've already ruled out Yohei, and I can't think of anyone that Matthias would be willing to die for outside of him.
Right.
So let's look at it from another angle. What's the punishment for killing someone?
You get executed.
So what if that's what he was aiming for? We've caught and executed every single killer so far. If he had faith that we'd be able to do it again, he might have been trying to eliminate someone specific.
But at that point, why not just kill them himself? If he was already willing to die, he could have just killed them and then told us he did it.
Maybe he didn't think he could kill them. If it was someone he couldn't physically overpower, and he was going to die anyway, it might have been a safer bet to choose to be the victim. It would also probably be a less painful death than whatever execution the rabbit came up with.
Please do not misconstrue my role in the execution process. I have absolutely nothing to do with the executions, nor writing them, nor designing them, nor constructing them, nor enacting them.
Either way, I still feel like it's a bit of a stretch. If it wasn't for Yohei, I don't think it would really make any sense. We did briefly touch on the idea that he could have done it to kill Yokoi, since he was so upset with her. But that doesn't really seem feasible. We've already ruled her out.
Right.
So then let's explore the idea of a suicide. What do we think of that one?
I think it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't really think it was a suicide at all.
If it was a suicide, the sheet makes even less sense. What, did he cover up his own body? It seems kind of weird to commit suicide by vomiting yourself to death.
I'll be honest, I've never heard of aspirating your own vomit as a method of suicide. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. And it's a pretty uncomfortable and undignified death. I don't think anyone would choose to go out that way if they had other options.
So probably not a suicide then.
Probably not a suicide, no.
Then we're stuck with our same few suspects.
Are we gonna consider the idea that Tay might be faking it? If he just acted crazy, we'd think
Dude literally tried to kill himself! I feel like that's going pretty far just to be convincing!
Well, yeah, but maybe he meant to die right after killing Matthias. Maybe he wasn't expecting to have to actually go to trial, and now he's trying to cover his ass.
That's absurd. Firstly, he has absolutely no reason to target Matthias. Secondly, if he intended to die, why would he care whether or not he got executed?
Don't they say tons of people who survive suicide attempts end up saying they regret it or something? Maybe he doesn't want to die anymore.
I feel like he still really, really wants to die, actually.
Huh?
Okay, so to reiterate, we can probably rule out both Tay and Matthias. That means our suspects are Mion, myself, and Denden. Everyone else is completely ruled out.
But that's not fair. I don't have an alibi. I was asleep all night.
Well, dipshit over there's been awfully quiet.
Sorry! Sorry. I'm not trying to be quiet. Just, I don't really have
You realize what you're saying right now, right? You're saying it has to either be you, Mion, or Denden. But then you also said it's definitely not Mion or Denden. So then it's you.
Well, obviously it's not me.
Then it's nobody.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, how does that work?
None of you have an alibi that works. It has to be one of you.
Wait, is that really okay though? To pin down a killer before we even know for sure how he died?
Didn't we all agree that he choked on his own vomit?
But why did he vomit in the first place? We never came back to that.
I think we agreed that he either threw up from the head injury, or he was poisoned. It has to be one of those two, right?
I can't really think of another reason he'd be throwing up. It's not like he caught something in here.
Maybe it's time to go over somebody else's investigation? I'd really like to hear what Shishikura and Yokoi found on the top floor.
Right. Thank you, Denden. I'd totally forgotten to get back to the investigation discussion.
Honestly, outside of the chair room, we didn't find a whole lot.
I think we probably found more than most people, though, at least.
Oh, first off, before we get into the dorms, we found something weird in the kitchen.
Right.
The fridge was kinda tilted a bit weird. Like it had been pulled out or pushed around or something. Plus, when we checked inside, everything was lukewarm.
We figured that might just have been because of the power outage, but, I mean, we had already been investigating for a while by that point. I feel like it should have cooled down again by then, right?
I think so too.
Definitely. Fridge doesn't take that long to get cold.
Wait. What does the fridge have to do with anything, though? When did they go to the kitchen?
I mean, Tay was in the kitchen.
I think he was already dead by the time I went to the kitchen, though, wasn't he?
Did you get the knife right before you, hurt yourself?
Yeah?
Then definitely. Tay being in the kitchen would have had nothing to do with Matthias.
If we believe him. Stop just taking his fucking word at face value on everything.
Did you do anything to the fridge?
No, I didn't touch it.
Either way, I don't see how the fridge could have been involved at all, honestly.
Maybe they poisoned him with something from the fridge?
That wouldn't explain why the fridge isn't working, though. It was still plugged in and everything. There's no reason why it shouldn't have been cooling.
Maybe it's just broken.
But why would they go out of their way to break the fridge? Did they hide something inside the mechanics? Like, did they unscrew the back and hide the weapon in there or something? Maybe that broke it.
Do we even have any missing weapons? I feel like everything's mostly accounted for, right?
We still don't know what they hit his head with or what they poisoned him with.
If they poisoned him.
Right.
Well, if they hit him with something big, like a bat or something, that'd be pretty damn hard to hide in the fucking fridge internals. Just getting it through the little hatch on the back would be a giant pain.
I don't really see how that could work.
But hiding the poison in there probably wouldn't be hard. Either way, it doesn't matter, because these two dumbasses didn't check, so now we'll never know.
Well, we had to rush out to see what was going on with Tay.
But wait. If they hid the poison in there, why would that make the fridge stop working? If they tried to shove something big in there, like a bat, I get why that might break it. But something like a little bottle of poison or pills wouldn't do that, right?
Good point. Probably not. Damn, what the hell is the deal with that fridge?
Did we already figure out why he was burned?
I think we kind of completely forgot, actually.
That's actually a really good point. We never figured out the burns.
What kind of burns were they?
Not heat burns. They looked more like chemical burns, if anything.
The fact that they were on his face makes me lean more towards what you were saying earlier, Hirose. Poisoned with something corrosive.
That's what I'm leaning towards too, but it doesn't really explain why it was around his nose. That wouldn't... It was gas.
What?
We've been thinking about the poison in entirely the wrong context. It was gas. His mouth was taped over. He was breathing through his nose. That's why he has burns around his nose, because he was breathing in gas.
Would that really concentrate it around his nose, though? If he was exposed to gas, wouldn't there be burns on more of his body?
We all agree that the murder took place in that weird room with the chair, right? What else is in that room?
The CPAP?
It's definitely not a CPAP, but sure, let's call it that for simplicity's sake.
The reason it looks like a CPAP machine at all is because of the mask. That has to be it.
It definitely makes the most sense. Has everyone here seen what that machine looks like?
I haven't.
Me neither.
The base of it is this big rectangular machine that you can put a canister into. That part, by the way, is why it's definitely not a CPAP machine, but regardless. There's a big box part that you put a canister of air or gas or whatever into, and then there's a tube connected to the mask. Judging by how it looks, I'm assuming that when you turn it on, the gas will be pumped through the tube and into the mask. That means that whoever's wearing that mask will be breathing in whatever's in the canister.
This is what the canisters look like. We don't know what's in them, though.
If they had knocked him out and restrained him in the chair, they could have easily hooked up the mask and suffocated him in whatever the hell is in those canisters. Whatever it is, it made him vomit, at which point he aspirated on his own vomit and died.
But why would they rely on the fact that the stuff in the canisters would be deadly? If they didn't know what it was, or whether or not it could even kill someone, shouldn't they have gone with something a little more reliable?
Ah! Like hydrogen cyanide?
What? Sorry?
Or nitric oxide? Or chlorine? Or propane?
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about all those.
Maikawa and I found a bunch of canisters downstairs in the 4th sublevel. There were a ton of these big ones that look like the big tanks you use to turn your barbecue on. Maybe they used one of those.
Do you remember any more of them?
I wrote them all down.
Fantastic work, Den Den!
Thanks, Doctor.
Hidose, you want to work together here? I feel like we might be able to pin down what a lot of these would do if you breathed them in.
Right, good idea. Read them off, Den Den.
Carbon monoxide.
Definitely causes vomiting. There are actually quite a few symptoms that come with CO poisoning.
Hydrogen sulfide.
H2S. That would have taken a bit longer, I think. Right? Does that make you vomit?
I think the issue arises in the fact that nothing is good for you if you pump a high concentration of it directly into your airway.
Chlorine.
That would explain the burns for sure, but I almost feel like it would be even worse.
These don't really look like chlorine burns. Honestly, I know I said chemical burns and I know I said corrosive, but they almost look like cold burns.
Cold burns?
Like frostbite. The same kind of burn you get from something like dry ice or liquid nitrogen.
That's a burn?
In a medical sense, we call it a burn.
Epinephrine.
Adrenaline? Certainly an odd pick. I don't think it would cause any burns, though.
Ammonia.
Would definitely cause skin irritation, but not a cold burn.
Right.
Sulfur dioxide.
Again, an irritant, but not a cold burn.
Nitric oxide.
I actually don't know about this one.
No, I think we can write it off. The symptoms don't really match.
Halothane.
Now that one's an anesthetic. Enough of it would probably make him vomit, but it wouldn't burn him.
Phosgene.
Death by phosgene takes a bit longer.
Right.
Hydrogen cyanide.
Damn. I wonder if something called hydrogen cyanide might be deadly.
Right?
Deadly, but it wouldn't burn him.
It would definitely make him vomit, though. Are we discounting the idea that they could have used more than one canister? More than one gas?
It seems unnecessary. I'd assume they only used one.
Arsine.
Arson, that would put you into renal failure, but I'm not sure about vomiting.
Cyanogen.
C2N2. That's pretty toxic.
It's definitely an irritant, but maybe I'm wrong about the cold burn. Maybe we should write it off.
I think we should keep it in mind. If you think it's a cold burn, I believe you.
Acetylene.
That would definitely knock you out and make you vomit.
You'd be dead pretty quickly.
Tear gas.
Well, that's just tear gas.
If you saw a bunch of canisters with scary looking labels on them and you were trying to use those to kill somebody, I don't think you'd go for tear gas.
Right.
Ethylene oxide.
I'm not sure that would make you vomit. It'd definitely do some serious damage to your nervous system, though. Not to mention your brain.
Freon.
Freon.
Freon?
What's freon?
It's suspicious, is what it is. There was Freon down there?
Yeah.
Then.
That would definitely make you vomit.
It would definitely give you a cold burn, too.
So, wait, hold on, what? There's no way it's something from all the way downstairs. That floor was completely flooded for days. How the hell would they have dragged a giant canister of Freon all the way upstairs? They'd drown.
Plus, the canister was still downstairs when we found it. So they would have had to bring it all the way back down, too.
There's just no way.
They also would have had to know what Freon actually does. I guess they could have just picked a canister at random, but If they were trying to kill someone, it would be smarter to go with the one that said hydrogen cyanide. I feel like everyone knows what cyanide does.
Even chlorine would have been a better bet than Freon.
But what is Freon?
It's a refrigerant. They've got it built into your fridge so that
Of course!
It has to be Freon.
someone raided our fucking fridge?
Wait, what?
That's why the fridge was pulled out. That's why it's not working. Someone gutted it for the Freon tank.
Well, for the record, I had zero idea what Freon even was before right this second, so it wasn't me.
Yeah, same.
Me neither!
If they had hooked the Freon tank up to the machine, Matthias would have been breathing straight Freon. It would kill him for sure, no doubt.
All right. Well, how come you know so much about it, huh?
Maikawa, you knew about it too!
Well, yeah, but I'm already off the suspect list. You're still on there.
Yes, but why would I tell everyone it was Freon if I was trying to get away with using Freon?
Because you didn't know it was gonna come up in the list. You had Den read them all out, and when she got to Freon, you realized that with Yokoi here, you couldn't just lie about the symptoms. You'd have to own up.
Maikawa, I know about Freon because I've huffed it! I didn't do anything! Now, if you let me get us back on track, I want to talk about the fridge. Someone who isn't me knew about the Freon, how to get it out, and what it would do. Our only suspects are myself, Den, and Mion. Remember that.
I swear I had no idea what Freon was. I wouldn't have said it if I did.
Den, don't just say you'd hide evidence!
Okay, so we've established a Freon, but maybe it'll help if we keep going over the investigation points? There might be more info we're missing. We haven't even talked about the dorms yet.
Plus, we still don't know shit about the wound on his head.
Actually, there's one point I wanted to address from my investigation with Ruka.
Yeah?
The duct tape. It was purple, right? That's a bit odd.
Definitely not the default.
Well, it's actually double odd because we don't have any duct tape in the storage room. Ogura took it all, remember?
That's right, for our duct tape outfits.
But more than that, when we went to investigate Ogura's room, we couldn't find her clothes. Not the duct tape ones, at least.
They might have just cleared out her stuff since she's dead, man.
That's what I thought at first, but then we found Kumara's duct tape clothes in her closet, and she's dead too.
So, what? You think they disassembled Ogura's clothes to use as duct tape?
I do. It's the only way I can see them having duct tape, and it would explain why the tape is purple.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
It does, but I don't think it really helps us out all that much. It's just something I wanted to clarify.
Well, actually, that wasn't the only thing we found in Kumada's room, right? We noticed that her toolbox was all banged up.
Right. I'd forgotten about that.
Could someone have taken it to use for the fridge thing?
I don't know if that would explain it being banged up, though. You don't bang up a toolbox by taking Freon out of a fridge.
Maybe they were just super bad at using tools.
They need tools. My roommate ripped all the copper out of my fridge with her bare hands once. Sold it online.
You'd probably still want tools to open the damn thing up. Also, why the hell is your roommate stealing copper out of your fridge?
'Cause she just did stuff like that sometimes. My fridge was broken for like 2 months. I kept everything in a camping cooler.
You're going to get botulism.
Nah.
Is it possible that the toolbox is what they hit him with? If it was dented, they might have hit him with it. I can't think of anything else we found that they might have used.
That would definitely hurt.
It would be more than enough to knock someone out and leave a sizable gash.
Wait! Hold on. I have a question. Can we backtrack for a sec?
What is it?
How would they have turned the breathing machine thingy on? The power was out!
It had its own battery. My Cabra and I checked it while we were trying to scrap one.
Yep. Battery powered. No electricity required.
Oh. Okay, thank you.
As I was saying, actually, before I continue, Den, for future reference, please try to ask your questions during the relevant part of the conversation.
Yes, Doctor.
Okay, as I was saying, the toolbox.
Right. It would have made for a really good weapon.
How would he not have noticed that, though? If someone came up with a clunky-ass, rattly-ass toolbox, he'd have noticed.
Says the guy who didn't notice Bookworm stalking him for literally hours.
Well, yeah, but she wasn't wearing a fucking bell. That toolbox is loud.
They could have stashed it in the room ahead of time. Then they just need to lure Matthias in, shut the door, and swing the toolbox at him. They hit him from behind, so I think it's safe to say that they probably caught him by surprise.
I feel like we're getting really close now.
I don't! Because we've been stuck on the same 3 fucking suspects for like a half hour! Can we hurry it up already?
But can it really be one of those 3?
It literally has to be. Everyone else has an alibi.
I really don't think it's Hirose.
And Dun seems way too brain dead.
What? So you think it was me?
It wasn't Mion. That's absurd.
Yeah, no duh. I didn't do it.
Would Miyoji even be able to hit Matthias's head? They're pretty short. Matthias was tall.
Mion has zero motive to attack Matthias.
They've got the same motive as everybody else, dude. Escape.
Are you seriously saying I did it just because you think Den's not smart enough?
Mion? I don't think it was Mion.
It wasn't Mion.
Tay, you literally skipped half the trial. You don't know shit. Plus, you're crazy.
Why would Mion kill Matthias, though? That just feels so random.
It feels random because it's completely baseless.
In all honesty, I don't really think it was Mion either. It feels like we're just picking them by process of elimination.
How else do you want us to pick someone?
Evidence?
We don't have any more evidence. That's the problem. They can't prove or disprove any of the 3 of us.
Okay, well, here's the deal. I think it's Mion because there's no way it's Hirose and Den's dumb as hell. I think it's Hirose because he's the only one of the 3 that knew about the Freon. I think it's Den because... Actually, no, I got nothing. I don't think it's Den.
Yay! But also not yay, because I don't want it to be Dr. Miyoji.
Where else can we pull evidence from?
I mean, we never figured out who poisoned Tay, if that matters.
It doesn't, because we already know that it had nothing to do with Matthias.
What if it did, though? Maybe Tay saw something. Maybe they had to eliminate him.
But our suspects who poisoned Tay have zero overlap with our suspects who attacked Matthias.
Then maybe they were working together? Maybe one of the alibis is fake?
That broadens our pool of suspects pretty drastically.
Not really. We already know that Yokoi and Ninomiya's alibi is rock solid, because she knew exactly what he was doing in the courtyard.
Not necessarily. She could have just made it up. It's not like he would refute her if she was solidifying his alibi.
Are you fucking serious? I'm getting accused because she stalked me?
In fairness, the same could be said for Maikawa and Shishikura. If Maikawa killed Matthias, she could have just had Shishikura say,
I had no arms, you fucking moron!
Okay, very good point. That would make it pretty hard to disassemble a fridge and swing a toolbox around, admittedly.
No shit!
Yokoi is a suspect when it comes to poisoning Tay, so what about this? Yohei kills Matthias. Yokoi works with him to cover it up. Tay sees them, so Yokoi tries to kill him, but it fails.
I didn't see anything, though.
Can't you not see bodies?
I can see them now, I just couldn't before.
Which makes eliminating him as a witness kind of redundant.
I didn't see anything at all. There'd be no reason to kill me.
You know, I don't think it's entirely unthinkable that someone was just backing the whole if Tay wants to die, he should die train. We all want out. If Tay wants to die and that'll help us get out, maybe someone just agreed.
That's still murder, Maikawa. It's still not okay.
Besides, who would do something like that?
An idiot.
Yeah, not gonna lie, that's kinda messed up.
Ugh, none of this matters! Are we just gonna keep retreading the same ground over and over again? Do we seriously have no evidence left? What about Matthias? Enough about the IV!
Did anybody find anything else during the investigation? Perfect. Great.
Okay, for the sake of the argument, can we just write off everyone's alibis for now?
You're only saying that because you don't have one!
I'm saying that because I think we might have gone wrong somewhere. You guys can't have it both ways. Either it was one of us 3, which you don't seem to want to agree on, or it was someone else. It can't just be nobody.
Well, when's the last time we could verify everyone's location? After Matthias's death, I mean.
It had to be when we all came out into the hall. When Yokoi started yelling about Tay, I mean.
Right. Everyone started coming out of their rooms. We didn't see Matthias at all.
He had to have already been gone by that point.
Yokoi came out of her room to get water. Then she saw me in the hall and started getting kind of worked up.
Sorry, I was just scared.
Then Isora came out too. Then Maikawa.
Shishikura was in my room during that, too.
Then Ninomiya.
So that's everyone.
Right.
Notice something?
Maybe. I might need to hear some alibis again. It's not really a big deal, just kind of a mismatch of info.
What do you mean?
Well, okay. Yukoi, can you go over your alibi again?
Sure, if you want me to. I was in the courtyard visiting the Kamidana pretty late at night. Ninomiya came in, and, I just kind of watched him for a bit. I guess because I didn't want to scare him.
Uh-huh. Right. Super not scary.
But when he left, I followed him back to his room just to make sure he got back safe, and stayed in Ikuda's room for a bit to make sure he didn't go anywhere else after.
And you were in there until you came back out to get water.
Right?
So why did Denden just say you came out of your own room, on the other side of the hall?
I went back eventually after a little bit.
You just said you were in there all night.
Hold on. No. We know Yokoi was in Ikuda's room. Because Ninomiya heard her, right?
Notice how she only pitched that idea when Tay wasn't here yet? I kinda get the feeling that he was the one in Ikuda's room.
Huh? No, I wasn't.
But... Oh. Really?
I wasn't. I swear I was in my own room.
Oh. Well, now I feel pretty lame.
I was in there! I swear I was! Seriously!
Okay, then what was all the noise? You said you were just sitting there listening through the door, right? That wouldn't have been noisy. That would have been silent.
I just moved a few things around, that's all. I was just looking around.
Ruka, we investigated that room together. He painted over every single surface. You know everything was in the exact same place he left it. You didn't move anything.
But no, that doesn't make any sense either. Yokoi proved her testimony. Ninomiya backed up exactly what she said. Not only that, but she volunteered to go find the body. If she had found it alone, the announcement wouldn't have played.
She didn't volunteer until after Denden had already volunteered. She knew she wasn't going to be down there alone. It was going to play no matter what.
Wait, but... No, I'm really confused now. If Yokoi wasn't in Ikuda's room, and Tay wasn't in Ikuda's room, and nothing got moved around, then what was the noise?
Was it Matthias?
That doesn't make any sense. Why would Matthias have been in Ikuda's room? More than that, there was no blood.
There might have been. The water had risen a couple feet off of the ground. If there had been blood on the floor, it would have been washed away by the flood.
But there was blood in the chair room. We all already agreed that that's where he died. There would be zero purpose in killing Matthias in Ikuda's room. He'd have no reason to be in there.
But then what was the noise?
Wait. If Yokoi wasn't in Ikuda's room after all, does that mean her whole testimony was fake?
Probably.
Then why did Nino confirm it?
Yohei?
Fuck. This is gonna make me look really, really bad, but I swear I didn't do anything!
Did you lie?
Yeah, but not because I did anything. She was offering me a free alibi. That's why I lied.
Are you serious?
I know I didn't do anything. I didn't want to be accused of shit I didn't even do. The faster I could get written off, the faster we could get back to the actual important shit.
Hey! Here's a fucking thought! Don't lie during the goddamn trial!
So Ninomiya and Yokoi both have no alibi then.
Right.
So now we have even more suspects and less evidence. Amazing.
Scene Kid, give us your actual testimony.
The fight with Matthias is real. We were arguing, I let him stay in my room. I went off to the courtyard for a bit, and I went to bed. All of that was real. The only part that was fake was the Yokoi stuff. I'm telling the truth.
But I don't understand why Yokoi would lie. I thought her and Ninomiya were fighting.
She probably did it to apologize or some shit. Throw him a free alibi as a little sorry I tried to murder you consolation prize.
Might help if she'd speak up a bit.
I just wanted to help. I'm sorry.
Yokoi, to be clear, what's your actual alibi?
I was in my room all night. I was asleep.
So who are our suspects now?
Me, you, Denden, Ninomiya, Yokoi.
Well then, do you find Ninomiya or Yokoi any more believable than you found us three?
Definitely finding Yokoi a bit more believable.
I think it was Nino.
What? Are you fucking serious?
Oh, Lord, don't tell me it was some kind of weird sex thing.
I'm sorry, why was Yokoi covering for you?
I already said why!
How should I fucking know?
I was just trying to give him an alibi! He didn't do anything!
Ninomiya, why were you acting like that while we were investigating?
What?
You were being weird. Why were you being weird? Why were you sick?
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
I told you! My fucking blood sugar was up. I'm diabetic! That's why I was fucking sick!
Okay, but for the entire month I've been in here with you, you've been super vigilant about that.
I'm not fucking perfect! How is this an actual accusation? Are you serious?
You waited until the point where you felt like you were gonna vomit before you said we had to go back up to your room.
Because we were kind of occupied, Mion.
Do you remember what you said when we were in the medical supply room?
What are you even talking about?
You said that it didn't look like anything was missing. You said that compared to the last time you were in there, it didn't look like anything was missing.
So?
You said that last time was when you were looking for your insulin. I thought you meant when Yokoi took it, but that was last week, right? You said nothing was missing. I know for a fact that Denden and Hidose raided half the supplies between then and now. You would have noticed that. That's not nothing going missing. The last time you were in there had to have been like this week, Ninomiya. It had to have been the past few days. What were you doing in there? I'm not saying you hurt him, but I want to ask you something.
Yeah?
How much insulin did you come in with? And how much do you have left right now? Because a month seems like a pretty clean-cut number.
I didn't do anything.
You're nearly out, huh? Yokoi had your bag, right? So she'd know how little you had left. She'd probably figured out what you'd done pretty fast. That's why she covered for you.
Hold on, that's all circumstantial.
Then he should be able to answer the question. If Yokoi knew she had to cover for him, and he's purposely not taking enough insulin, what does that tell you? It's been a month. I want to know how much he has left.
Ninomiya?
I'm sorry.
I didn't.
I did think it was kind of weird how you didn't know what Freon was when you had a fucking broken fridge for 2 months. Didn't you try digging around in there at all? Fixing shit?
If you can explain away anything I said, I want you to do it. Now. Please. Please?
God. I'm sorry. So fucking sorry.
Last night, you guys had a fight.
It's not worth it.
Regardless, last night, you guys had a fight. It didn't matter by that point, because I think you'd probably already decided what you were gonna do, but you had a fight. You said that after that fight, you left, but I don't think you did. Maybe you said you wanted to talk. Maybe you said you just wanted to show him something. I don't know. Either way, I don't think you forced him to go anywhere or do anything. I think you just asked him to go with you, and he did. You took him to the room at the end of the hall. You already had everything set up in there. You had to have. That's why I think you probably already had everything planned out. The tape, the toolbox, the CPAP, the freon, the sheet, everything. You let him inside, took the toolbox, and knocked him out. You wouldn't even have needed to be stealthy or anything. It was pitch black. He wouldn't have known what you were doing. He wouldn't have suspected you either. After he was unconscious, you bound his wrist to the chair and put the tape over his mouth. You hooked up the mask, and... by that point, you wouldn't even have needed to stay. I don't think you did stay. I think you went to go clean up. Washed off the toolbox, put it away, that kind of stuff. He'd be dead pretty soon after that, so you just need to wait. By the time you came back, for your sake, I hope he was already gone. But if he wasn't, you just need to wait around a little more. He wouldn't last long. Once you knew he was gone, you put him on the sheet and dragged him out to the elevator. Even if you had run into someone, it was pitch black. You could have hidden pretty well. You took him to the elevator, brought him downstairs, left him in the hall, and dumped the sheet. You figured the water would rise, and nobody would be able to find his body quick enough to get anything useful out of the scene. The water took the evidence away. The water bought you time. After that, everything went pretty smoothly. Nobody suspected you, because you're Ninomiya, and he loved you, and nobody would have guessed that you'd do something like that. Not to mention the fact that Yokoi was covering for you. That was her last attempt at an apology. Throwing herself and everyone else under the bus so that you could get away with this. That's right. Right?
God! God! Fuck!
Ninomiya.
What the hell's wrong with me?
You can't be serious.
I didn't want to fucking die. I didn't want to die. Fuck. I'm so fucking scared. I'm so scared. Why the hell am I always so scared? I'm so fucking scared.
When you're ready, we'll begin the voting
I
process.
just wanted to fucking go home! What the hell else was I supposed to do?
He fucking trusted you.
You'll be prompted to select the student that you believe is guilty of murdering Matthias de Klerk.
I was scared.
After all of the votes have been cast, the execution will commence.
I'm such a fucking coward. I'm so fucking stupid.
I'm so sorry.
Please press your buttons now.
What it's worth, I'm incredibly sorry. This wasn't fair for either of you.
Thank you for voting. Your votes are currently being tallied and will be shared with the class shortly.
You really killed him.
Don't.
The class has voted for Ninomiya Yohei, the ultimate violinist, to be executed. This conclusion was correct.
Yohei.
Such a fucking coward.
As a result, Ninomiya Yohei will be punished with death.
What the hell is wrong with me? I should have just died. I should have just. I couldn't leave. Oh, God! He trusted you!
Mikawa! He's about to die. That's more than enough punishment. Quit it.
I loved him. How was I so afraid of him? I loved him.
It's punishment time.